Hi, my name is Kim Wolfe. I'm a part of the leadership team here at Lifepath Hospice. I was recently asked to tell my hospice story in just 6 words. My 6 words were, once fearful, then educated, now empowered. My grandmother was my person. I'm sure many of you can relate to that very sweet relationship. At the age of 15, we called hospice for my grandmother, and 3 days later, she passed. It left an impression upon me that hospice meant giving up. So when my mom was fighting a terminal illness recently, I decided that I was the one that would care for her. Doctors and my family wanted to call hospice, but I insisted I could do it myself. I wasn't ready for that quick goodbye that I thought hospice would usher in. It turned out to be one of the hardest years of my life, and unfortunately the hardest year of her life too. What I was giving out of pure love was falling significantly short of what she truly needed, and those memories still haunt me today. I stand here today as a humble, worn caregiver and share my biggest regret of my mom's last year was that I didn't call hospice. I now understand that calling hospice is not about giving up or giving in, but about empowerment. It's about giving loved ones time to truly live the rest of their lives with dignity and love. And it's about writing the rest of your story yourself. I wish I could go back in time and give these gifts to my mom, but I cannot. Instead, I give that gift to moms, dads, husbands, wives, brothers, sisters, and children through my role at Lifepath Hospice. That is my why behind the work I do each day with Lifepath. Once fearful, then educated, now empowered. Just like me, 340 Lifepath Hospice caregivers will follow their why and care for 1,175 patients every day. Dads like Mr. McCrae. At last year's event, we shared Mr. McCrae's remarkable story. Though reoccurring cancer robbed him of his livelihood, his independence, and his home, he always made our hearts more full, our spirits lighter. When asked what he wished for the most, he said, for us to have the resources to care for other patients like him. Because of many of you in this room last year, his wish came true when James needed help. James woke up one morning with a nosebleed that led to a shocking diagnosis: head, neck, and brain cancer. At 42, a thriving business owner came face to face with the same disease that took his mother when he was only 12 years old. James lived in a trailer in a borrowed field, isolated, alone, and too far from the help that he needed. Unable to work and time moving too quickly, he thought he would die alone in pain. But because of Lifepath Hospice, James found a place to rest his head, comfort from his pain, a family when his could not visit, and when his spirit was weak, a chaplain to listen and ease his anxieties, all free of charge to James, but not free to Lifepath Hospice. Over $2 million was spent last year for loved ones like James who had no way to pay for hospice care. An end of life is not the end of our mission. We also help children like Solana. Solana's dad died of a heart attack in their home just shy of his 40th birthday. That day, her heart broke in 2. Tears would fall as she shared how she missed the little things, like telling him about her day. The Circle of Love Grief Center helped her manage emotions like anxiety, anger, and sadness. She is now finding ways to talk about her dad with joy instead of sorrow. It is staggering to know that 1 in 12 children will lose a parent or a sibling by the time they turn 18 years old. This is 38,000 children in Hillsborough County alone. This is why grief centers, an annual camp, and year-round support groups in the area schools are critical to our community. 3,400 adults and children will need us this year to provide free one-on-one grief care at the cost of $750,000. And the needs continue to grow. We are caring for 10% more patients than last year, a total of 1,175 patients each and every day. While basic patient care may be partially covered through Medicare or private insurance, there is always a gap between what we are reimbursed and what our patients truly need, what you would want for your loved ones. With healthcare costs continuing to rise rapidly, we are facing challenges like never before. The week of the hurricane, we ensured every patient had a place to ride out this storm, including our oxygen-dependent individuals. Our staff worked around the clock for 2 days, ensuring patients and their families had what they needed. And when lack of electricity and wind damages prevented a safe return home, patients stayed at our hospice houses. But we can't forget that a personal storm is brewing for 1,175 families each day in our community, maybe somebody you care about. The total cost of charity care and grief support is an investment of over $3 million, and it is worth every penny for people like Mr. McCrae, James, and Solana, and the thousands of others who depend on us each year. Love and loss, healing and hope. If we are lucky enough to love, this becomes a season of our life. Though we can't choose just happy stories in our lives, honesty and vulnerability is where the best stories lie. Thank you for letting me tell my true story. My mom would be happy to know that her story has meaning and purpose.